There you are.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Um, I've been watching the Olympics.
Tell me, what are you watching? What are you enjoying?
Well, I wasn't going to watch anything, but then I found out that a former pupil from my old school in England, which is now co-ed, is a member of the United Kingdom women's rugby seven
Oh,
team.
yes.
So, and they're playing Australia tomorrow morning. So I actually have an individual to root for,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is very exciting. So I was preparing for that actually by watching the men's rugby seven.
Do you know the rules of rugby?
Well, yes, I used to play rugby at
Okay.
school,
Yes.
which is um, regular rugby is 15 people on either side, 15 players on either side.
Yes.
And um, the match is 80 minutes with a 15-minute break. It's actually, yeah,
Yeah.
80,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
seven aside, seven rugby is only seven people
Yes.
on each side. And it's, I think, 12 minutes each half with a 2-minute break. So, but they still play it on a full-sized field.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a very, very fast game.
Yes. Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
and you have to be both very strong and very quick. So it's kind of exciting, and it's actually, um, in other words, if American football was speeded up and you didn't
Yes.
wear helmets, you'd have
Yes.
something like that. And
Well, I mean, I mean, I no, and I like American football. American football is so slow. There are so many
yes,
breaks and stops and starts. I mean, even soccer or football, I go to a game and it's 90 minutes, and it's 90 minutes, and even if they
yeah,
stop the clock, it's not going to be 3 hours. It's still going to be, you know, 100 minutes, but it's not, I mean, it's, yeah, American
yeah.
football has so many breaks, and I don't know what that's, well, it's for all the commercials. uh,
I guess. But rugby seven, it's the rules, and the rules are such that the referee he can stop the play, but each time there's something like an offside, or there's an immediate remedy where the other team gets the ball. In other words, it moves forward very quickly,
yes.
and if there's a real foul, which is like if you tackle somebody around the neck,
Hmm.
then you're just off the field. And if you've only got seven players and one's off the field, then
Right.
you're really, So we saw the men's finals today was
Yes.
Fiji versus France,
Ha.
and Fiji has won the last two Olympic gold medals, and they lost to France.
Okay.
Very, very tight
Okay.
game. So yeah, so I mean, I always say I'm not going to watch the Olympics, and then I end up watching at least some of it. So, you know.
Okay. I only know a few things about the Olympics. What did you catch the opening ceremony?
Yes, yeah, we caught quite a bit of it. It was very cheesy. I
Oh,
mean,
was it?
I mean, I guess the French are just going all out to. They had, well, Celine Dion. They had Lady
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga. Yes.
Um, they had actually quite. They had a kind of a. I don't know how they did it. A pianist and a woman on a little island in the middle of the Seine, and they were both French, very well-known musicians, and she was singing "Imagine" by John Lennon, and that
Yeah.
that was kind of very, very touching.
Sure.
Um, Snoop Dogg is playing a very big role in
Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Yeah. So I will commend Snoop Dogg for holding the Olympic torch and resisting any urge to make any kind of jokes. He just held it respectfully. That's all I want to say
This
about
is apparently what some members of my family think that it looks like, a giant,
But no, but is that why he was selected? But again,
No, he's in the stands. He's cheering. His
they
wife's
keep.
there
Oh, so
with
once
the
he's there, he's
baby.
there. Yeah. Oh, he's
No,
us.
he's lending it. I thoroughly approve of this.
Sure.
I mean,
No, good. Okay. All right. Okay. I have two. No. Okay. No. Oh, I actually have a few things about the Olympics, and they're all technology related. One. Did you hear about the drone scandal between Canada and, oh, I'm forgetting the team.
Yeah, I did. They sent a drone to.
Yeah, and a coach got sent home. But what's weird is Canada is highly, highly, highly the favored. No one thinks they were looking for competitive. There wasn't. It was New Zealand. And it like so. What the most interesting guess that I heard, and again, it's no one knows why they were flying this drone. Were they looking for social media footage? But it wouldn't have been because they were looking for a competitive angle. They didn't need. This wasn't like where you send someone to look in the trees to see their plays. It's an emerging story. So I don't know if there's.
It could have been something they were in a sense responsible for, but not something that was spying. I don't know.
It could, yeah, no, it could have been, yeah, it could have been a prank gone wrong. I don't know, but I think we'll eventually find out. But it's unfortunate. I mean, well, no, it's not unfortunate. I'm glad that the Olympics has rules and people get sent home. The Japanese a gymnast who got sent home just for drinking and smoking, which I guess, I mean, it's the Olympics. You're an elite athlete, but did you hear about that?
Yeah, I saw that. That what I just read just now, though, was that the French, when the boats were going past with the teams on it, the French announced South Korea was North Korea. They used the name, the People's Republic of
wow. Yeah.
Instead of the Republic of Korea, which of course is a mistake that the British made in London, the Olympics.
Is that true?
8 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah.
But the sensitivity about it is so high.
Right now, no, with the trash balloons and all that. No, the French also, the military hung the Olympic flag upside down with the two rings up they hung the flag upside down.
Which flag?
The Olympic flag. No, the Olympic flag. With the five rings. Yeah, at one point, it's
that's pretty good.
It's been a lot. No, okay. The other technology pieces. We've talked a lot about AI. This is a really interesting one. NBC Peacock is using a digital version of a real. His name is Al Lewis, and he has done many Olympics. Going all the way back to like. Speaking of gymnastics, like Nadia Comaneci, the Perfect 10, like 1980 gymnastics. He is like the voice of the Olympics. He's still a commentator. He's probably still doing live commentary for the Olympics somewhere, but NBC licensed his voice for AI. This is legal. This has his permission. The specific way they're using it is kind of interesting. It is for personalized packages. You get to sort of input which events you're interested in, the length of time. Do you want a 10-minute sort of compressed, just the highlights? Do you want to watch whole matches? You get to decide, and then you get an AI version of Al Lewis of 7,000 different combinations that is tailored to your interest and but it's all through AI. What do you think of this? What do you think of this usage of AI?
So is this something, so I understand it, that goes to an individual buys this, they pay for it?
I think it's part of, yes, you pay for it. I think it's part of your package if you get Peacock, the streaming, or you can buy it as a standalone just for the Olympics, I think.
So it's like a personalized birthday card type of thing?
It's like a personalized. Like I said, you get to decide if you want. I guess you would get a daily notification, and then it's either going to be, like they said, like from 10 minutes, just a highlight reel of all of the sports, or I want to watch 3 hours of only
okay.
rugby.
So you get a clip.
You get a clip of some sort, but it's been tailored to you with commentary that's been tailored to
Is
your.
it, does it have your name? Is
No,
your
it doesn't have your name in it, but it will have, for instance, if you're more interested in the athlete's diet and nutrition, it will have commentary that picks out that from
okay.
all of the cloud and all the, yeah. If you're more interested in, I don't know, whatever, the betting or gambling aspects of it, then it'll have content that's related. I don't know. I'm making this up now.
So
I don't know that much about it.
so what it, I'm an individual and I want this and I
Yes.
get it,
Yes.
right? What do I do with it?
You just watch it. You just watch it.
I just watch it.
Yes.
Do I put it on my on do I
Oh, no. Oh, well. Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think you're licensed to. It's still NBC's product that they own. That, yeah, you can't redistribute it or anything.
you can't broadcast it.
No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's just for you. It's just for you to consume. But no, the part that's interesting to me is, again, people started to freak out that they're using a living guy's AI voice for an AI, and then he had to come out and say, no, this is licensed. I'm working with them. He didn't actually do anything. They just trained it on his voice that was already on the internet. But it's fully his. It's with his permission and blessing. And he, when he talked about this is interesting technology, and this is the future.
I'm just wondering if it's so different from I don't know, I mean, I like the industry of personalizing greetings.
Yes, 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 yes. No, like yes,
Different.
yes,
I mean, like I'm sure that there have been things where, well, you can have a song by somebody
yes,
on Jib Jab. You can have a
yes,
song with your name put in,
yes,
right?
yes. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's artificial intelligence,
No,
isn't it?
sure, sure, sure. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That says, well, I
It, in
I
my
think it's
day,
very, I think it, to me, it's more interesting that someone would want that as a consumer if they can't show it. In other words,
oh, yeah,
is it
yeah.
a collectible? Is it something that's going to be worth a
No,
lot?
no, no. It's ephemeral.
Very ephemeral. Yes, it is.
It's just, but no, but as you say that, what's interesting to me is, well, I'm thinking about the cultural impact. Let's just say this caught on, and this is how everyone consumes events. It would mean, oh wow, what would that mean for politics? Everyone consume it in their own way, which means everyone get their very personalized. Like, how do three people who've watched the Olympics this way have a conversation? You and I have still consumed some kind of similar media that we both heard about the drone, we both heard about the gymnast, but if we're all watching our own very individualized packages of consuming, that's actually kind of dangerous, especially if you're talking about news, or especially if you're talking about. I didn't think about this. I was going very like, oh, I'm plus with this, especially with him being licensed and paid. But that took a dark turn.
Yeah, to me it's quite interesting. I mean, it would be interesting to know how much the guy is paid. I mean, and does he get paid? Does he get royalties, or is he paid a flat fee?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I do. I think I am curious about that as well.
I I should do this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think that's a very interesting painting you just made.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you already have
I'll
it.
have to think. I'll have
Yeah.
to think about it.
Okay, and then the last thing, and this is just the Olympic Village, carbon neutral, the fact that these are sort of elite athletes, and so how they regulate their body temperature is important, but you're banning air conditioning there. And I'm saying this again very importantly, as a vegan who drive, a Prius, who's very environmental, Earth Day going back for decades, and I think some of the things they're doing are mistakes, including kind of enforcing a plant-based sort of initiative on athletes who, again, have very specific diets. So now they have to bring in their own food. The plant-based is going to waste. And I know this, and I talked about this from my own experience where I'm at work. I actually help plan an event, and they're like, oh, no, we need lots of vegan food. And I'm like, I'm not sure, guys. There are like 100 plus people in our organization, and I'm one person. Maybe I should just get my own lunch rather than getting a whole pan. And then what happens is, all the beef goes, all the chicken goes, and this stuff just piles up. And then they're asking me to take it home. And I'm like, I don't have that much room in my fridge. Again, I told you not to order this much plant-based. If there's not, you can't force the interest. And I'm saying this as a vegan. I know this. So yeah, no,
Well,
now we have a food waste issue, and
Yeah.
athletes aren't getting fed, and it's all being blamed on. And this is all right-wing talking points. Look at what they're trying to force the climate change, but it's true. I mean, in this case, I think they messed up with their initiative that kind of went too far.
Well, I didn't know about the initiative. What I did read was just 2 days ago that there was a shortage of protein,
Yes.
and the athletes were complaining they couldn't get eggs, they couldn't get
Chicken.
meat,
Yep.
the ones that needed that for their diets, and some of them were not eating in the Olympic Village because there really wasn't enough food, even other
Right.
kinds
Okay.
of food.
Well,
So
prepare for the right-wing spin cycle when they figure out it's because of this carbon footprint initiative, and because they have, I'm sure, I'm certain, I'm not there, but they have plant-based food waste going on while athletes are going
oh,
hungry.
sure, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
And that was a mistake. And yeah, and then the same thing. So, well, I kind of want to say U.S. Tennis actually brought their own air conditioners over to, but I mean, yeah, I think yes, it was, they wanted to reduce the carbon footprint, and so they did a bunch of things that many people are angry about, but I haven't heard as right-wing talking points, but prepare for them. Speaking of which, is there anything in that world you want to, anything? Should we talk about cat ladies or brats or?
There's a lot. The I was rather astonished by the emails that J.D. Vance's former very close transgender friend has now released.
Oh,
He was very close
yes.
from college over maybe 20 years.
Okay.
With Sophia, who uses the name Sophia, but identifies as male and is a defense attorney, a practicing defense attorney,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And apparently J.D. Vance supported this person's everything that they did. They were on the same page politically for quite a long time.
None of this actually surprised me yet.
And J.D. Vance referred to, in his book, he mentions this friend and referred to as a lesbian, and actually then when sent them a copy of the book apologizing and saying, I didn't use the right terminology, and got an email back saying, oh, don't worry about it, that, we're still friends, love you, dude, kind of thing. And it was only when Vance came out against medical, he voted against.
Yes, yeah, no, he's a culture warrior very much.
Yeah, but at the point at which he did, then this friend, Sophia, wrote him an emails and basically said, I don't understand. I know your move was moving to the right. And he replied saying, well, I changed my mind when I became a parent, something like that. I was really, but it's, I don't know. I think the hypocrisy is so deep I mean,
It's not. No, I mean it's not. And so okay, so
isn't it hypocrisy?
well, no, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying it's not hypocrisy, but it is. It's not new. It's not. I mean, Dick Cheney has a lesbian daughter. They all know someone. They all have an excuse to. Well, one of two things. Either you're like Elon Musk and you don't, or you have a relationship and, well, everyone makes excuses and does the. I don't know. No, but until they can't anymore. But no, he is very much. And I mean, I talk about this and this. So. I mean, this isn't J.D. Vance. This isn't Trump. This isn't even Project 2025, but it kind of is. It's this guy named Christopher Rufo who lives here in Washington, who wrote this memo in 2019 that basically said, you know, hey, all this DEI racism stuff is good, but let's just go full hardcore trans because everyone hates them. This is getting a little bit divisive, but that's a lot easier. That's an easier target. And that's where all this comes from. That's where all the bans, that's where all the, I mean, okay, I had to explain, okay. Yeah, I don't know where I want to go with this. Sorry, all of that surprised me and I'm going to have to process that and maybe have a bigger, I didn't know that specific, but I'm not surprised. And they all, no. Yeah, no. And sometimes, again, I've been that queer friend to someone who I know in other circles says horrible things about me. And I have my justification because you don't always immediately want to cut someone off until you're like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, we know and admire politicians whose life experience informs their principles and even their policies,
Right.
even as they might mature. In other words, they could be, you know, totally pro-gun. They might then have an experience with somebody near to them or whatever,
Yes.
and they start to change their attitude, right?
Okay, yes, but no, okay, but this actually is part of Vance's, this is integral to his platform that I changed when I became a parent. And do you understand, have you heard all the childless cat lady?
Yes.
Yeah. No, and so it's very, very clear that no, he's now backpedaling, but not. What's interesting is that he chose.
He's trying to say it was out of context, but
yes, and claim that he was speaking. But here's the thing: he's saying I was saying that the Democratic Party is anti-child. Okay, but if you wanted to attack policy, you could have done that. You attacked very specific people. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who, by the way, is quite young. Kamala Harris, who, by the way, has stepchildren, a very valid type of parenting that their own biological mother had to come out to defend her on. And Pete Buttigieg, which... Why you chose these three people are completely on you. But also Pete Buttigieg happens to be in the category of people who were trying to have children. He does now. He adopted. He also is quite young, but they adopted. But at that particular time, and he said this, they were having a setback in their adoption process. Of course, Vance wouldn't have known that, but that's exactly why you don't attack people's families. That's exactly why you don't do this. It's not, so for him to say they took it out of context, no, he very, very specifically chose to attack individual people by name and is now trying to retcon that in a way that doesn't make any sense at all, except to his own base, which is why he went on Megyn Kelly to do it, not The View, where they would, well, no, Joy Behar would have just softballed him with a bunch of jokes and actually then felt good because the jokes were about cats and thought she really owned him, but she wouldn't have actually, he's still going to have to continue this apology tour. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, this is part of their platform though, that family means a very specific type of thing, and it's a man, a woman, and children. Many children. Also, if you read Project 2025, there will be no childcare, there will be no schools, and of course you can't get an abortion anywhere. So there, and then the Heritage Foundation. I'm sorry, the Heritage Foundation was fact checked. Someone made up a thing that said that somewhere in Project 2025 it said something about stay-at-home mothers. It doesn't. But it doesn't have to, because again, if you've gotten rid of schools, if you've dismantled the Department of Education, if you've gotten rid of early learning childcare, and there is no choice, a bodily choice, you don't have to say you're forcing mothers to stay at home. It's infused into what the law it would enforce. It is Handmaid's Tale. Sorry,
I think the big question is what today constitutes the average American family? Is the average American family...
Is that a question though in 2024? I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but I mean, okay, I'm listening.
No, I'm saying that what I hope
Yes.
is that the average American family deals with issues that don't equate with 2025. In other words,
Yes.
that there are vast numbers of people who, in their own quiet, ordinary lives, their experience, whether it's to try to have children or
Yes.
or to have people with mental disabilities, whatever it is,
Yes.
that when it comes to voting, that they will care, not that Trump's crazy or Harris is efficient or not, but that they cannot vote for somebody who basically is going to it's going to have a very serious impact on their personal lives, and not just like taxes or inflation.
Right. No. Right.
From a social, I'm saying from a social point of view. But maybe people don't. Maybe I don't know.
No,
Maybe
do people vote that way? I mean, I do know among all the criticism was a Fox News commentator who said, her terminology, she says, I have a baby up in heaven because I had an ectopic pregnancy. I don't have a child here on earth. I am who you would define as child. I mean, he struck a nerve across all demographics. And, okay, I guess, no, and I guess the last thing I will say, about J.D. Vance is even the Republicans, the right, are starting to grumble, like, was this the right vice presidential pick? Is he too similar to Trump? Is he a mini-me? Which is, I'm sorry, I just have to, their inkling of starting to consider the possibility that maybe diversity is a strength, not a weakness. I'm just saying, because they always insist DEI is this evil thing that's ruining.
But Trump wants a mini.
Of course he does. No, of course he does.
He won't campaign with him. He on the same stage, but he doesn't want the possibility that a younger man might upstage him. So
no, he knows
Vance can go around, and he's a surrogate Trump.
Yes. No, and he knows he'll stay on script. Last time he went with Pence for a very strategic reason, but Pence, even from the beginning, in his own, and again, I hate to give, because Pence is virulently, speaking of anti-trans and all that, but Pence in his own way, even from the beginning, made his own, I'm with him, but I'm not with him. And then,
well, he's kind of like a cowardly Christian.
No, he absolutely is. No, he's not. I'm not giving him any valor or glory. But except that one day on 2025, which, all right, let's move on to Kamala Harris on January 6th, 2025. She will be the person who sits in that chair and oversees the count. That is the fact. The right wingers haven't started to freak out about that yet, but all their stuff.
I mean. Did you see? I just read just like 10 minutes ago that yesterday Trump told a meeting of Christian evangelicals they only have to vote once now. They will never have to vote again. He did.
Um,
He said, that'll be it. You only have to vote once and never again, because that'll be it.
is there audio? I mean, is this deniable?
That was in the Times. That was
Okay. But again, the Times, no, they say, no, I know. They're going to.
No, but he's saying.
I know, I understand what he's saying. No, I understand the threat. It's very clear, and it's not, they're not, like I said, they're not dogs.
No, wink, wink. It's not a wink, wink.
It's bullhorns now. We've got the bullhorns out, and
you vote for me, and I'm going to be yours till I die. And then J.D. Vance will take over. I guess he'll be his anointed.
It won't ever be Vance. Vance is a tool, just like Mike Pence. It'll be someone else.
No, it'll be Eric or Donald. I don't know. Maybe
it will. No, you're right. It will be. It'll be Ivanka. She'll be the first.
Ivanka. It'll be Ivanka. Yeah. Yes. Jared will. Jared will be the president's husband.
No, okay. Do you want? Okay, let's please move on to Kamala. No, because they're actually none of this is going to happen. We're still in doom and gloom mode. Just like he's still giving speeches about Biden, which I'm like, keep doing that. Keep wasting your resources complaining about a guy who's not running for anything. But what Kamala? She is having last week at this time. We were still debating for the third week in a row. Should Joe pull out? Should Joe not? What a week! Like, what a week! We haven't even talked about this yet. Like, what has happened in the last week? She's having.
Well, the media, who used to think she was incompetent, actually.
I don't know how the mainstream. Okay, so
now she's the Virgin Queen. Now she's.
Is it okay?
That's great.
Okay.
I mean,
fine. Let me say, I am drinking the Kamala Kool-Aid right now, so don't harsh on my.
No, I am.
Okay. But James Carville is the I want to say Clinton.
I can't watch him.
Oh, okay. No, okay. I don't know why, but no. But he is saying he said, let's temper it. Let's just temper it. The Democrats are 10% too excited, and I think that's valid. I do think we haven't won anything yet, guys. Let's slow down. Let's calm down. But I also think. No, let's coalesce around this person, all the endorsements. I am feeling it.
She's going to get a big, tough-looking white guy from the South. And and they'll that's fine. And people who have any doubts will.
But speaking of anti-DEI, the fact that she can't even consider a woman, of color because of the optics of if she, whatever white guy from the South she picks, he's going to be a DEI hire.
He is. Yes, of course he is. Yes, he is a DEI.
So there you go. No. Do you? Okay. Do.
I mean, the white population that is being replaced, right?
Yes.
Well, they should turn it around and say we're for hire.
Yeah.
You need us.
Okay.
In order.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay, but how about Kamala and like youth? Do all the memes, all the Charlie XCX Brat?
If she can get the kids excited and Gen Z for whatever reason, I think it's fabulous. I think it's great.
I first of all, again, Joe Biden, despite the fact that they didn't like his stance on Palestine, and she is much more ceasefire, just period. But was already polling like 28 points above. Young people weren't saying, I like Trump. They were saying, I'm not voting at all, which was unfortunate. So if they're, it was never they were going to vote for Trump. I want to just make that clear if people were confused about that. The other interesting thing is, Charlie XCX, the artist who did this Brat, that is part of this lime green culture that is, that the official campaign has latched onto, she is receiving a bump as well. I think this goes both ways. It's not just, it's probably, I'm probably the only one who's going to point out, I think this young artist is getting a bump from a 59-year-old woman who memes stuff because she says wacky things about coconuts. But I saw two separate Club Brat, Charlie XCX dance club nights, and a week ago those would have been Taylor Swift or Beyonce, or I swear, I mean, I can't prove it, but she's getting a bump too. I think it's a Venn diagram of people who are moving towards each other, not just one camp is absorbing or getting a new, I don't know how to describe it, but it's, in any event, yes, I think she's going to do, I think she's going to do fine with Young. I think as far as, did the mainstream media describe her as, was it yes, she says.
They did. There was a lot.
Really?
This was not recently.
Okay.
But they used to say 90% of her staff turned over. She's disorganized. She's not a leader. And now, today, the Times has a huge article about what the other world leaders have said after meeting her. She's smart. She's great. She knows her stuff.
But again, well, is it the New York Times' place to do that? No, it's her campaign's place to do that. You're right. And but this is in response to her being very much attacked now and very much being, again, called over and over a DEI hire and things right now on the right in very dark and disgusting ways. And people talking about her sleeping her way into politics and, I mean, just really, really gross things. And I think that needs to be countered, but it's not. But
how could her having had an affair with Willie Brown compete with Donald Trump?
I know. No, I get glass houses. No, I know. Glass houses. It's like, it's kind of wild.
Like she showed her ankle, that's like.
No, but again, the way it can compete is all of his scandals are old and they're desensitized to them, but hers are new to them, so they can froth them up. That's how.
I don't know.
That's how. I mean, it's.
They had the Willie Brown thing came up when she was running with Biden. I mean, it never got much traction because.
Willie Brown was the mayor of San Francisco while I lived there. My friends pied him. My friends, which I don't condone. Don't throw anything at anyone. I don't throw anything at anyone for any reason. But back in the day, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I did not. Yeah, no. I wasn't involved.
So do you, first of all,
yes.
Do you think she's going to win?
I mean, I don't predict that one thing only because, I mean, pollsters, as soon as anyone says anything about polls, I remember Kellyanne Conway is a pollster. Kellyanne Alternative Facts Conway is a pollster. So none of them, that's what they think. That's how they think. None of the polls mean anything. I don't have the data set to really make a judgment. It will, and so much is going to happen between now and then. I do think Democrats need to be careful of, counting your chickens before they have, rooster, coming home to roost, all this stuff, getting too excited too early, because that's not necessarily a momentum you can sustain. In radio and television, the right outspent the Harris campaign only has one ad right now, so that's probably the reason. But they spent 25, million million, and the Harris campaign spent like 2.6. They outspent them a lot on specifically radio and television in swing states, and this is like what older people still consume. And if it's AM radio, if it's those talk radio, it's there. So while maybe the meme culture and younger is enjoying this, they're still sending their message to their base in a real, and the people who maybe are on the fence and who maybe are on the outside of this and not celebrating it and being like, what is all this lime green stuff? What is that? And I don't know. No, what do you think? I mean, I just said
I don't know. I like to believe that if she can ignite the energy of the young,
yes,
that they are, once energized, much, they can multiply in a way that the dyed-in-the-wool, I have to, maybe, do I want to get in the car and drive to vote today? Maybe I don't, kind of.
Right.
In other words, the middle of the road people.
Yeah.
In other words, as an we need energy, which is an antidote to the people who are deifying Trump. That kind of, because there may be a lot of people in the middle who just don't bother, who just,
Right. I think if it comes down to endorsements, if Taylor Swift endorses what Swifties have, but there are already Swifties for Harris, but if Taylor Swift endorses, she'll have the young vote. If Beyonce endorses, she'll have the black vote. And I hate to make it that simplistic because that's not true. That neither group, young people or black people or any group, is a monolith. And I want to make that very, very clear every time.
Yeah, it's not. But a significant more than she already does. In other words.
Yes, and again with black people, there is a softness because she was a prosecutor, and because people and the right is really going to hammer this.
She's no matter Indian. I mean, there's certain things that she doesn't automatically get the black vote.
Well, no, and the fact, and this is what's Trump, who as a private citizen spent $1 million of his own money to take out, again, New York Times ad about the Central Park Five and how they should have been executed. One of whom is now like council member because
he's exonerated.
Trump is now going to use the fact that some of her prosecutions involved black men who maybe spent time in jail longer than they're going to use the fact that they get to do this. But again, that's new information, and his thing is old information. This is a very interesting, and I know we're going a little bit long.
That's why a debate is going to be
yes. If like I said, like I keep saying. They both in the last debate, they both did disastrously, but he was the known quantity of disastrous. Biden, they had hidden him a little bit, and so we were surprised by how shaky he was, whereas Trump rambles like that all the time. Yes, so does she rambles, but in a very endearing way.
I think I think she could really, I think she could win a debate. In a way,
no, she will. No, that I can predict. She will win a debate. I said I wouldn't mention Vance again. They're also coalescing around the fact. Well, it's interesting. They're already, and this is how hair on fire, tear it out. They are around the fact if Trump loses, it's Vance's fault. I'm like, well, he lost the popular vote twice. He's never won the popular vote. So no, if Trump loses, it will be his own damn fault, and that was without Vance, obviously. Last thing, and okay, so you were right about Longlegs. It was officially as a trivia or whatever. Bea Perkins is Oz's daughter, who played the clerk in the story. Yes, so you got I
got that.
You spotted that. Deadpool. Ask me anything. I promise no spoilers. But if you have no curiosity at all, that's okay too. Do you have? Yeah, we talked a little bit about it by text.
I'm going to see it.
Okay.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's out now. I saw it. It's great. I saw it last night.
Don't say anything.
I won't. Okay, I won't.
I don't know if I'll see it this coming week, but I will see it.
We don't have to talk about it, and it's not important, but I know.
Oh, I do. I'm fascinated by, because I read a kind of an exchange between Ryan Reynolds and what's his name?
Hugh Jackman. Yes.
It was very funny. I mean, it was obviously a PR exercise.
Yes, their banter.
How they met, how the whole thing, and why Reynolds wanted to do it, and why then Hugh Jackman, who said he wasn't going to do any more Wolfman, why he wanted to do it. So
right. Yeah. And again, I don't know why I feel the need to slightly warm. No, yeah, my dad, who took me to some of the most violent movies ever made. It is hard R, and that's what makes it interesting. That's what makes Deadpool now officially in the Marvel Disney universe. The first two movies were actually produced by actually make fun of men several times in the movie. I said no spoilers. But it is it is very hard R and it is very gay, and I expect a new cycle of backlash around that. It is very much Deadpool versus. So if you came for the fights, there are fight scenes, and I promise. But if
Well, they say there are 100 F-bombs in it, so.
it's that. But okay, well, this isn't a spoiler because it's already been. Yeah, it's not just that he gets to say the word. And again, Disney has had for decades, since the '80s, like they've had Touchstone and Amblin. They've had divisions to release R-rated movies,
Yes.
but not
Yeah.
as Disney, not as Marvel, not as part of their brand that you come to Disneyland for. And especially in post Ron DeSantis, whole woke wars, blah, blah, blah. Once they got accused, they literally showed two female fish side by side, and it was like controversy. And so, no, there are, it's not just that he makes a pegging joke, but he makes it and says Disney in the same sentence. He points out that you're watching a Disney movie while he's making these very,
That's very postmodern.
it is. In a way, no, I will say, again, this is probably the only spoiler. It doesn't break the fourth wall. There is no fourth wall. There is going to be, I don't even know what, this movie tells you when to take a bathroom break. This movie tells you, I don't understand,
But didn't that all begin with Spider-Man in a way?
I mean,
Comics? I mean.
No, they're all, the narrative, they all, yes. It's
being self-aware.
So as much as I'm saying this is new for Deadpool to be in the Marvel universe, it also is very much, if you've seen any, and I've only seen about 6 of all of them, but if you've seen any, it's a very nostalgic retro soundtrack. It's a very, the beats, when the fight scenes are going to come, how they're going to come because the music cue tells you it's coming. I mean, it is, but the jokes are, it is wall to wall, and it's not just me. Objectively, I laugh at almost anything, but objectively, people were laughing out loud in the theater. It was very, I saw it on opening night. I do just for the free merch and stuff, but I don't necessarily like a crowded theater. I do more like a Tuesday in the afternoon, but yeah, people, I think this is a very good movie, but some people are going to be mad about it.
Well, we'll discuss it either next week or the week after once I've seen it, okay?
Yeah, I love you so much. Have a great week.
I love you. Have a great week, okay?
Bye.
Hey, Manny.
Yeah?
Thanks.
You know I got your back.
Well. If it isn't the 2 most basic bees on the planet, shut your old loose neck ass up.